What's up, y'all? Megavelli Mills TV. Look, today is August 31st, 2019, and today makes 10 years. Yes, today marks 10 years since Trey Songz dropped that Ready album. Like, when Ready dropped, like, there are some albums where I remember exactly where I was in life. When this dropped, I was heading into my junior year of high school. Shout out Morgan Park High School in Chicago, Illinois. At that point, I was 16 years old. So that summer when this dropped right before, like, cause we started school the day, we always start school the day after Labor Day in Chicago, in the Chicago public school system. So this dropped August 31st. I remember hearing this joint, and from the intro, when I heard Penny Dropper, this right here is a penny dropper, I was like, oh man, Trey out here, hey, this on some other stuff. This on some other stuff. Cause at this point, this marked Trey's, his maturation. From a young boy to a man at this point. This when he cut the braids off. He was clean cut. He gained muscle. He gained muscle mass. So he was like bulked up a little bit. Had his shirt off at every opportunity, and especially on the cover of this album. So this marked his ascension in the R&B game, in the R&B world. This was like his statement that he finally arrived for real with this album. This album has some bangers, man, front to back. Like, Neighbors Know My Name. My pops love that joint to this day. He still be bumping that in his car because he know this song and he loved that song. For real, he loved Neighbors Know My Name. Then he had I Invented Sex. Everybody and their mama knew I Invented Sex. That song was on the radio all summer. It was on rotation all the time. Because at this point, Drake was like, this when Drake was the hottest artist in the game. He was a new artist, new and up and coming artist on the scene. And it made perfect sense because I remember on Drake's song the first Drake song I ever heard was Replacement Girl. And Trey Songz was singing a hook on that joint. So it made sense for them to collab at the point where they were both rising at the same time, even though Trey Songz had more years in the game than Drake at this point. But fire song, I Invented Sex. Like, I remember Judge Greg Mathis. Judge Mathis was on Monique's song, and he was like, "You gonna think I invented sex?" He was singing that. I'm like, yeah. Judge Mathis know what a crackhead look like, and he know that I Invented Sex song. So that's how much like the world was on fire with that song. He had the I Need a Girl. I think that was the first single off the album, if I'm not mistaken. And I really ain't even like that song like that to start. Like, I ain't really like it like that, but it grew on me as I kept hearing it time and time again. They kept playing a video on TV, so I'm like, all right, I started feeling it for real. What else? Oh, they had the LOL Smiley Face. Was a little fun record because at the time Gucci was hot because Gucci kept releasing mixtape. He kept releasing mixtape after mixtape. All them Wilt Chamberlain mixtapes, the Writing on the Wall, he had all the mixtapes kept dropping. He was on fire. That like Tommy Lee and Pamela, I'm in on the camera, more stamina than animals. Like at that point Gucci was on fire, and he had Soulja Boy on there too. So that was dope, but it was a fun record for real. It wasn't like the other songs on here was fire. But I remember at this point, Trey was like I wanted to be Trey at this time. Like, I wanted to be the young smooth operator in high school to get all the girls. I wanted to be that guy to get all the girls, and I wish I was able to sing, but God didn't. He didn't bless me with a voice, a singing voice. He didn't bless me with that. But if he did, I'd be a bad man out here. I would have been a bad man. Maybe God know what he was doing and like, look, I ain't gonna give him that. I'll be singing every chance I get. Seriously, because my lady can sing. I'd have sung to her to get her probably. If I could sing, I'd have used my singing voice. If I could sing like Trey on some of these songs. But yeah, then he had the One Love song. Like, One Love was dope. I really like that song for real. Like that song fire. I thought that song was for real. That baby, here I am, I'm your man. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Then he had the Say I. The Say I was the club record, the club joint. I wasn't in the clubs at 16, but my sister was. My older sister, she was always going out, getting ready, and I would watch her get ready. She bumping that Trey song. She bumping it in her whip on the way out with her homegirls. Like, that song, like it was setting the world on fire. With Fab on there, he had Fabulous on Fabulous rapping on the track too. Fun fact too, my brother when he was younger, like years and years ago, around 2009, 2008, he looked like Trey Songz. He kind of looked like Trey Songz. He was, at this point, my brother was slimmer. He was younger, fresh face, youthful. They probably about the same complexion. He may be, yeah, they about the same complexion. He might be a little lighter than Trey, a little bit. But my brother, like, he did at this point look like him a little bit. So, but anyway, come on, Jupiter Love. Come on, bro. That wasn't even fair. That wasn't fair. I was quoting lyrics from that song on Facebook. Like, cause I was like that into that song. Like, that's Jupiter Love joint. Come on, man. Then he had that, the scratching me up? Was scratching me up on this joint? I'm trying to think. Was scratching me up on? It had to been. Scratching me up had to been on there. Yeah, scratching me up was fun. Like, come on, bro. That too. Scratching me up. Then he had that holla if you need me. Come holla. I was like, come on, this ain't even fair. And the songwriting, who was writing these songs? Was Trey writing these songs? I know Brian Michael Cox was on some of these joints. And some other people too. Sean Garrett, I think Sean Garrett wrote a couple of these, like one of these songs, I think. I don't think all of them. But yeah, like, then he had Successful with Drake. Damn, I want the money. Money in the cars. Like, damn, this album was really, Trey had the whole summer on lock with this album. The whole summer. I'm looking at the track listing now. Like, he had the whole summer on lock. He had, like I said, LOL Smiley Face, the Yo Side of the Bed joint. The video made it even more like it touched your feelings that much, like, for real. Because the video, I think Carrie Hilson was his lady in the video. And Carrie was fine as ever, too. But, like, all these, I'm looking at this joint, for real. Be Where You Are. Come on, man. Like, this whole album was, it was fire. And again, it represented Trey's ascension in the in the R&B world, to let people know he arrived and he was here. But that's Scratching Me Up had to be on. I don't see it on the track list. Was it a bonus track or something? Because I swear Scratching Me Up was on here. And I was young as ever with that singing that Scratching Me Up, like, for real. But that's how good this album was. It made you, I don't know, it made you be invested in this album. Like, you really, at this point, this is one of my favorite R&B albums from the 2000s. Like, really one of my favorite R&B albums. Like, it was like, I would say post 2007. After 2007, this is one of my favorite R&B albums, because I know Confessions was like everything. That was fire. That's probably one of the best albums I ever heard in my life. Shout out to Usher and Jermaine Dupri with that one. But yeah, this one here though, it was just dope all across the board. Like I said, from the intro to Panty Dropper joint. Come on, man. How many albums? How many records did he sell with this one? How many copies? It eventually reached platinum. It sold 131,000 copies in the first week in the U.S. At that point, there really wasn't. I'm trying to think. In 2009, was albums still really selling like that? Was this good for 2009? 130,000 in the first week? It might have been straight. I don't know. It depends on what type of client. Well, no, because Wayne sold in 2008 when he dropped the Carter. He sold $1 million in the first week. So I don't know, but I know, despite the record sales, ask anybody in the hood, ask the women in your neighborhood how they feel about this album. This Trey best album to me. Like, this Trey best album. Front to back, this is his best album. Seriously, like, he was ready at that point, like, for real. He was ready to become a star. And we started seeing him do more interviews. He was doing more appearances on shows, and like, people wanted to have him around because he was the it dude at this time in R&B. And I'm ready to see him make a comeback, man. Make some more great music. But I remember the Trey Day album. I thought the Trey Day album was good too. Like, he had that the Soulfly on there. He had the Role Play. He had what other album? No, the I Can't Help But Wait. Wonder Woman was dope. He had The Last Time, written by Brian Michael Cox, and some other people I believe was on that too though. But that joint, he had The Store Run. It was a song about safe sex on the Trey Day album too. That was dope. Sex for Your Stereo. That's what I'm talking. Sex for Your Stereo was dope. Damn, this Trey Day album was good too though. I ain't gonna. It just ain't get enough. It didn't get as much acclaim as the Ready album. But Ready, come on, man. Like, what was y'all favorite song on there? I'm still tripping. It's been 10 years. Like, I'm 26 now, so yeah, I was 16 when this dropped. So yeah, 10 years, man. Man, like that. I'm for real, y'all. At this point, I was 16 and I was really starting to talk to girls and really starting to get more confidence in talking to women. So at this point, like I wanted to be Trey. I was like, man, I want to embody that dude right there. Like, of course, I was gonna be myself, of course, but I'm like, this dude right here was smooth. He was smooth with it. Even in interviews at this time, around this time, Trey he wasn't mad all the time like he was in some recent interviews. He was getting a little snappy in these last couple of years in interviews. But during this time, when he was becoming big, he was smooth as ever, like for real. And I don't like he was having all them girls at the radio stations going crazy for real. And my homegirl, one of my homegirls from high school time, she was in love with Trey Songz. This is all she would listen to. All she would listen to every single time. She watched every Trey Songz interview. She went to the concerts and everything. But I know a lot of people was big on this album, and I know this album right here is something that I feel is personal for me because I was like bumping this all the time. I had an iPod Nano. Remember when everybody had iPods? When you had iPod, I had the iPod and I had this whole joint on nearly the whole joint, not the whole album, but most of the whole album was on that iPod Nano. And I had the Gucci mixtapes. This when I was getting all my songs and music from LimeWire. Like I was really on that. Like y'all was on there too. Y'all was on LimeWire too. All of us was on there getting music. But yeah, I was getting my music from LimeWire and putting it on my iPod. And I was rocking out on the way to school, man. I was on there, the CTA bus and the red line, bumping my music, keeping it a little bit medium when I was on the train, because you never know. You got to watch out for these little shiesty dudes. But this was the soundtrack for my junior year, for sure. Then I remember my junior year, Soulja Boy dropped that Pretty Boy Swag. And that song was dope. And I'm a Noob now, but I just can imagine how the Noobs was strolling on campus when Pretty Boy Swag dropped. I can imagine it, like, fire. I'm getting off subject now because Soulja Boy not even on this album. Well, he is on this album on LOL Smiley Face, but I just remember when that Pretty Boy Swag dropped that same year, my junior year. It was like 2010 or 2009 he dropped Pretty Boy Swag. Within the same year. But anyway, great album, dope album. It went platinum, so this was a success for Trey Songz. And it marked his like new beginnings for his career because that Passion, Pain, and Pleasure album was when he had the Love Faces. That's one of my favorite songs ever by Trey, that Love Faces. I thought that was dope. But yeah, man, that man came on this album and said, I'm ready. And I'm like, dude about to snap. But yeah, great album, love that album. Y'all let me know what y'all favorite songs was from that joint. Peace.